Good morning, everyone. Today we are going to discuss in the other topic of the OOPS is encapsulation. First, we have to know the what is an encapsulation. In the previous session, we are discussing related to the OOPS, what is an OOPS and why we need an OOPS. And after that, we are moving to the one concept in the OOPS. It will be inheritance. Now we can start with the encapsulation. Firstly, when we are going to know the encapsulation, first you have to know why this encapsulation you need, then only you can understand. Firstly, encapsulation, what it do is in general, encapsulation means, wait a minute. Encapsulation is nothing but, suppose when you are dealing with any programming or any application, first, why you need the programming for developing one application, right? When you are developing an application, you are required some to maintain some integrity, like you have to maintain the security, and you have to separate the who can access the data something, who are not accessing the data something. Suppose imagine a thing, suppose taking the example of a banking application. In a banking application, they are not allowed to use all the things. Suppose you can check the your balance and your account number, but your account number and your balance may not be checked by the others, right? It will be segregate from, or it will be separate from the others. That means what was the details necessary, that was only shown to you. And also, when coming to that, you cannot directly updating some values. Suppose the account balance is taking an example, you are not directly update the balance. If you are try to directly update the balance, then sometimes there might be a chance for the data misuse. Because of the data security, we are discussing the topic of encapsulation. Encapsulation means the mainly focusing on the data hiding. How can you hide a data, and suppose hiding data, how can you update, and how you maintain. This was the concept of encapsulation. Inheritance is all about the code reusability. Encapsulation is all about the hiding of your data. Is entirely depends on the properties, not methods. On properties, the encapsulation entire concept will be on depend. First we will discuss that what is an encapsulation, and all later we'll go with the programming. For that, I can create a new package. My package name, it is day 14. My class is Encap. First, we'll see the what is the definition of an encapsulation. Encapsulation means data hiding. The concept of data hiding is called The concept of data hiding is encapsulation. The concept of data hiding is encapsulation simply, right? In this, we are mainly focusing on the two access modifiers. One was the private, another one was protected. One was a private, another one was a protected. These are the two we are discussing in the encapsulation concept. In general, we are focusing on only the private, but sometimes it will be protected also. Protected is nothing but in a inheritance concept we have to discuss the protected, but we missed it. We will discuss now. Okay. First we will discuss with a private. Normally encapsulation entire thing will be in a private. Suppose data hiding means, what means the data hiding? Suppose encapsulation is one class, right? I have another class of encap1. Okay, it is another class. Data hiding means what? Suppose the data which contains the encap1 is not directly accessed by the encap, right? Suppose encap1 has some data, that data not directly accessed by the encap, right? That means we already know the private access modifier scope. What is the scope of the private access modifier? It was the scope to the entire class only. Outside the class you can't able to access, right? But by using that only you can achieve the encapsulation. By using the private only you can achieve them. First means data hiding means what the data one class contains, it cannot be accessed by the other class. Simply it was the data hiding, right? like the way like the way one class contain data, another class not use, means you have to must declare the variables with a private, right? So my class encap1 contains a private. My class encap1 contains private, right? So private, suppose I'll go with the some integer. Okay, integer balance. Suppose I'll taking an example of account system, taking the balance. If I'll try to access this balance variable, suppose I'll declare this. Okay, I can take another class. It was a class encap2. Okay, here also the same thing, private. Sorry, in place of private I'll go with the int balance, right? Suppose if I want to use this private int, suppose normally what the methods containing or the properties containing of one class you have to use in the other class, you simply use that what it is, you can use the inheritance, right? By using the inheritance you can access, right? By using the inheritance you can access, like the way. Suppose I'll take the first example of encap2. Why? Because we already know that encap2, right? So because of that, first go with the encap2. I can simply create an object for my, what it is, encap. I can create an object for my encap. It was simply like a even new encap of, new encap of. Simply we can okay, encap that. Suppose here also int balance equals to 15,000. Suppose int balance equals to 15,000. Directly I can print here sys out of even dot uh, balance. Even dot balance, I can directly print it. At the time of discussing the concept of access modifier also, I'll explain that private has the only scope of class, right? Private has the only scope of class. Outside the class, I can't able to access. And protected. Suppose I till now I'll not discuss the private. First I'll show the protected. Why? Because I already inherited, right? So protected. or else simply I'll do one thing like this way. Suppose I'll change the inheritance. That means I am inherit ncap class from the ncap one. Suppose if I the same thing even dot balance, I'll try to access, I'll get an error. Why? Because balance here is a private variable. This private variable outside the class I can't directly access. What are the private variables or the private methods? Outside the class I can't able to access. Okay, I can't able to access. Suppose in place of private I'll change it to the protected. If you observe, now I can access. Why? Because that is the difference between private and protected types. Protected you can use in a inherited child classes also, but private cannot. This is the difference. Private range is only for the scope of within the class. Protected you can access in the child classes. You have to observe the term child classes. If not a child class, suppose I can take another thing. I can make it as a protected. Right now ncap 2 is not a child class, right? I can create what it is ncap 2 e2 equals to new ncap 2. Now sys out of e2 dot balance. This e2 dot balance I can access. Why? Because e2 is the object of ncap 2. That means same class or same object. That means same object methods or same object properties I am trying to access. So I can access. But the same thing I'll try to access. That means in the child classes I can access, or within the class I can access protected. Private within the class only I can access. Outside the class I can't able to access. Now our concept is encapsulation, but I will show the difference of private and protected first. Okay, I have an encapted. I can go with the private. Then private, right? Suppose I have a method of deposit. Suppose take this as an example of bank. Okay, take this example of bank. Okay, take that example of a bank. Good. Now what I'm doing is suppose it is a simply bank. What I'm doing, I have to make the deposit. Bank has the several services, right? Deposit service, withdraw service, like that, several things. So like the way I have to deposit something in my class. I want to, it is a bank, normally bank account. It is simply ATM. Okay, that is okay. I can't able to change the class. Why? Because I have to change the, there also the name in the class name also I have to change. So because of that, okay, for a while ncap is my ATM. Suppose think like ncap is my ATM, it is my bank account, right? Bank account, bank account have some private information of private. Suppose account number string, this is the string type of account number. String type of account number, it will be a ABC4040. Okay, it is my string account number. And another thing is a balance. Okay, suppose what are the things you can't access without a credentials? First thing, you can't, without a credentials you can't update the balance, or you cannot access the balance, right? For that, suppose you have a deposit method, public deposit, public deposit of in a deposit method. What you do, you want to pass some amount which was you have to deposit, right? Suppose my deposit amount is int amt, public deposit. Why I am not mentioning any return type? Okay, public deposit. My deposit is the method here. Okay, good. The thing is, you have a private variables, but you don't directly access the private variables outside the class. Then how can I deposit the money? Suppose if I perform the deposit operation, then what it has to do? It has to update the balance. It needs to update the balance and come back, right? That means account balance has to be reflect, but it is a private variable. I can't directly get it from my bank class. Then how can I do that? Is simply public void deposit is right. Suppose simply in general, how can you update the balance? Suppose I can access by using the variable of suppose okay for a while like this, public void deposit int amount. I want to update the balance. First I want to update the balance means I have to pass the how much amount I have to update. Suppose I am reading the amount here. This out of enter amount to deposit. Enter amount to deposit. Okay. In the same way, I can read the amount, right? Scanner SC. Next, new scanner of system.in, right? System.in. But I have to import that, right? So import where it is java dot util dot package util dot star. Okay. Fine. Suppose I want to update the amount. If I want to update the amount means I want to access this balance, right? I want to access this balance, but it is a private variable. How can I access? First thing, I want to pass the amount. How can I pass? Deposit of deposit of suppose int amt equals to sc dot next int, right? I am amount reading the amount to update my balance. Okay, deposit of amt. I am getting error. Why? Because I have to, what I have to do? I have to create an object for my class. Control C, Control V, E1 equals to new encap of I can create an object. Then simply I can call E1 dot deposit, right? E1 dot deposit of some amount. I have to deposit. What the amount I have to deposit? I can pass it. But the task is, how can I access this balance? For accessing this or for updating the private variables, we have the getters and setters. Getters and setters are nothing but some general functions, normal functions like a user defined functions, but one function is using for getting the value of the private, some function is using for updating the value of a variable. So we are calling it as a getters and setters. We are naming it. That's it. But at final, they are the only methods. Simply methods like what the deposit method, like it is also one method. But you are simply calling it as a getters and setter. Why? Because private has the only scope in the class itself. In the class itself. That means if I want to access the variable or if I want to update the variable within the class only, I can do. Within the class only I can do. So whatever operations I have to perform, I can do in the class only. For that I have a getters and setters. Simply I can create a one function here. That function is a public. Suppose I want to get it, right? Suppose I want to set the set means or updating the balance. So for that public void set balance. Suppose set balance of, suppose imagine thing, suppose it is there set balance. Normally if you take the any example in from any AI, they can show like this. Suppose one variable is like that, in before that they can place the set. Then you can simply imagine that this is a normal syntax, you have to follow that. That's not an any, not at all any issue for maintaining this name. You can name it anything. Suppose you can name it as setalance, or you can name it with a small b. In a programming understanding way to the others also, they are simply following the in before of the variable name, they simply place the set for the set the value. Okay, here I have to pass the value, right? What is that? Set the set means I don't pass anything. Then you can access the balance right here. Why? Because balance is a class variable. Class variable I can access directly within the class. It is also a private has a scope in the class itself. So balance plus equals to sorry, suppose balance okay, here I can pass some amount int amt. Okay, set balance. Initially there is no balance. Imagine the thing, initially there is no balance, empty balance. Set the balance equals to emt or amount. Balance equals to amount. Okay, balance initially no balance, I have to update it. Initially no balance, so I have to update it. Or suppose initially balance is there, I have to update the balance. So balance plus equals to, okay, balance plus equals to, suppose balance is not there, then it will be the 0. Suppose balance is there 1000, I can update the balance. Okay, I can update the balance equals to balance plus amount. Okay, suppose you want to update it, then set balance is the method. Why? Because balance is the private scope, so within the class only whatever you want to do you can perform within the class. That's the thing. But the here we have to access outside the class also the balance. That is the thing. How can I do it? Is this is a get method. I think in the methods concept we discussed the return type, right? Return. So here my balance is int type, so public int. Suppose get balance of, I need to pass, so simply pass the return balance. It is a public method, right? So I can access wherever I can want. So by using these methods I can set the private variables, and also I can get the values of a private variables, right? I can set the private variables and also I can update the private variables, right? That is the thing. Suppose in the deposit method what I have to do, I have to update the amount. How can I update the amount? Updation of amount means you have to set the balance, initial balance with some amount. For that I can simply, okay, first suppose uh, extends, I can inherit. Without the inheritance also I can do. Without the inheritance also I can do. How can I do? I have to create a object for this bank class. Suppose if you create an object for the bank class, by using the object you can access now, then it will be the scope of the private only. Suppose if I simply create an object for the bank account b1 equals to new bank account of, then I can simply call, suppose sysout of b1 dot balance, b1 dot balance. What it shows, it will throw an Error, why? Because it is a private scope, so I can't directly access, but it shows a methods get balance and the set balance to update it, right? Get balance and set balance. So I can create an object for my bank account, or else you can extend it, or by using the inheritance also you can do it. Suppose in place of creating a new bank account, I can simply extend it, extends of my class name is bank account, right? A bank account. Then here event dot deposit, simply like a event dot get balance, or also event dot set balance. That means by using the inheritance also you can do, or else you can create an object and you can call the methods. But whatever you have to do by using the methods only, you can have to perform on the private variables. For a while you have to update the amount, right? You have to update the amount means uh, you have to update the amount. Then what you have to do? Deposit. In the deposit method, deposit means simply setting the variable, simply set the variables. Without this deposit method also I can do, or else you can do with the deposit method also. Suppose control question mark. First I'll try to access for what was the initial balance. Okay, for a while control question mark. Suppose I want to check this out, initial balance. Initial balance, how can I get it? Even dot get balance. By using this even dot get balance, I can get the amount whatever I want, right? Simply we are calling these methods as a set balance as a deposit, get balance as a withdraw, or check the balance, or I can perform the different things. Suppose firstly even dot get balance, that means I can get the balance whatever I can want. That means initial amount what I can declare, then based on that I'll get the output, right? I think 15 or 1000 I'll mention. 1000. Okay, enter amount to deposit. Initial balance is 1000. I am not perform any updation operation, right? Suppose I want to set the balance. I want to set the balance. For that, what I have to do? Simply even dot set balance of. I can pass that amount. Whatever I read, I can pass that, and sys out of amount after deposit. Amount after deposit. Even dot get balance. Even dot get balance. Suppose I have to deposit the 2000. Initial balance is 1000. The amount after deposit is 3000. That means you are directly updating the bank account variable. That means which is a private variable, you are updating directly. This is the entire concept of encapsulation. Nothing you have to be difficulty facing. Simply the concept is what are the private variables you have to set and get by using the methods. Those are the getters and setters. By using those methods only you have to access it. That is the thing with the encapsulation concept. Suppose I have to set this account number, I want to know the account number, then I can simply use this. I can create another set balance and a set getter, get balance and a set get. That means set account number and get account number. That means you can manually you can create your user defined functions or methods to updating the balances and all. That means what are the private variables there, you have to access it. That is the concept of encapsulation. Encapsulation is mainly on focusing how you are getting the data hiding, which was the data you are hiding, that you have to access it. How can you do it? That means these balances and all not directly accessed by your encaps class. It was accessed at final, it was accessed by the your encap class, but not directly. Indirectly it will access. That means your balance, what is there, it was not undergo any data losses and all. Simply what are the private data you have to maintain it, then you have to declare with the private. Suppose in simple I can do one thing, right? Suppose public, I want to withdraw money, public withdraw the money. Suppose withdraw of the money means what you have to do, in the withdraw what you have to do, in the amount you have to decrease it, right? In the amount you have to decrease it. Suppose in simple, in simple suppose withdraw also you have to update the amount, right? In withdrawal also you have to update the amount. Then how can you update an amount in a withdrawal case? In withdrawal case you have to decrease the amount. Here you have to plus, then you have to minus. But how can you do it is the thing. Suppose take an example of, I can create a withdrawal method here. Simply in place of this I can create it as a withdraw amount. Suppose withdraw amount, right? Integer amount, how much of amount I have to withdraw, I can do that. Okay. Hmm. Good, it's all fine. Suppose then in the withdraw method how can I do that? That means I have to get the balance first. In that balance I have to remove it. Simply even dot get balance, it will throw an error. Why? Because why because here I have a even, that means even object is there, but this even scope is only till to the main method. Outside the method I can't access that even any variable. You have a scope of the, what we are called is global scope and the local scope. It was a local scope, so outside the method you can't access directly that even object. Then how can you access it, right? That is also the thing. So what you have to do, you have to create again object in this class, again object in this class, or directly you can update in the main method. Instead of that we'll do one thing. You can create object in a, okay, if you are creating even object outside the all methods, then it has a global scope. That means enter the class you can access this even object. You can access in the withdrawal method, you can access in the main method. It has a global scope. Then even dot get balance, if you are get balance means you can get it. That's it all. Even dot get balance of amount, what are the amount you have to do. But I can do it in a print sysout of okay, amount withdrawal, okay, amount withdrawal sysout of amount withdrawal, okay, amount withdrawal. That means after amount withdrawal, Okay, even dot get balance, you are here you are performing one operation, right? Because of that even dot get balance minus amount, that means you can get the af after withdrawal how much amount you have. But but here also one loophole is there. The loophole is suppose here I can call what it is. Here you can't directly access the even. Okay, even dot amount in the balance and all the things. suppose the same thing Suppose the same thing. Hmm. If you observe in before in before I am making into the okay. If you observe in before I am making it into the static, where it is. Wait a minute. What I have? Here I have the Ncap even I can create it, right? With a global scope I can create. But the thing is, when we are dealing with the static and non-static variables and all, we discuss one thing, right? What it is the thing? Suppose here I can't access that even. Why? Why I can't access that even? Why? Because of suppose in general you can take the examples at the time of static and non-static variables. We discuss that non-static variables always you can access through the object, right? But object we are declaring as a outside. Then how can I access? Before, because of that I'll make it into the static. Okay, if you are not making into the static, then you can't access. That's the case. Or simply you can do it in other way also. Or I can remove this. Okay, or I can remove this, control C. Okay, here only I can create an object, control V. Okay, simple. But here also I want to access that even dot get balance, right? Where it is even dot get balance, but it doesn't know what is the even, right? Then I can do simply one thing. Hmm? The thing is Ncap, suppose even Ncap even, that means I am passing my object into the function. When the time of calling, I can directly pass my object. Directly I can pass my object, then I can access it, right? So even dot withdrawal, even dot withdraw, I can pass the object here as a parameter. I can pass the object. I have an option to, by using the object only I have to access. I can create it as a global with a static, or else I can create it with as a in a local, but I can have to pass it. Suppose you want to access by using the object only, then it is the only option to me. Okay. Hmm. It is the thing with, suppose I want to update it and amount withdrawal. After that you can, here you can get the output of, if you are removing the amount, what will be the amount you have. But here also you have a loophole. The thing is after performing the withdrawal, here I'll take it as a AMT1 to withdraw. The amount is sort of amount to withdraw, amount to withdrawal, amount to withdraw, right? Int AMT1 equals to sc dot next int. Here what I am doing is I am reading the amount, some amount to withdraw. Here After the performing of withdraw, after the performation of the withdraw, what I do is sys out of amount in a bank account class after withdrawal. After withdrawal, for getting the balance also, what I have to do, even dot get balance. That means check balance. Check balance is even dot get balance only, right? uh, Now I can run it. Suppose amount to deposit is 120, then I can get the 1120. uh, Amount to withdrawal is 20. Amount to withdrawal 1100, but my amount is still at 1120. Why? Because I am not updating the in a withdrawal method. I am not updating the direct what is a bank account withdrawal. I am not updating it. That is my issue. For that, what I have to do? For that, what I have to do? Simply in place of manual withdrawal, I can use the set deposit. Okay, set balance. For that set balance, what I have to do? I can add amount, right? I can update the amount, but the thing is now also I performing the deposit only here, right? Here it has the plus, so amount will become the, so I have to decrease it, right? That means minus operation I have to do. Then what I have to do? Simply amt equals to amt into minus 1, amt into minus 1. That means what the amount I am multiplying with the minus 1. I am, after that I'll that means it will internally it will perform the subtraction operation only, right? That is the thing. Now I'll check it. That means you can do one program in a multiple ways, but at final what are the values updated and what is the workflow, that is the major thing. Suppose 123, okay, 1123 is the updated amount. Okay, amount of it. Now I have to amount deposit, right? My deposit amount is sorry, withdrawal amount is 23. Amount in bank account class after withdrawal 1100, right? This is the way you have to updation and deletion. That means deposit and withdrawal. You are using the same methods, set balance and the get balance, but doing of the way is different. By the encapsulation concept, what you have to understand is which was the protected data you have, how can you get it in other classes, and how can you update it. The operation what you are doing, all the thing in the class only, in the bank account class only you are doing, but the thing what is the difference here is by using the methods you have to perform, you are not directly accessing the data. By using the other methods you are accessing the data, right? This is the concept of encapsulation. The main is a getters and setter. There are not at all any fixed names to that. You are simply placing the one user defined method to that, and use it. Okay, right? This is the thing. uh, Today's class encapsulation is enough.